to sit here today and talk about when we could possibly get the next Super Smash Bros. Game, because trust me, I love Smash Bros. I've been a big fan of Smash Bros. Ever since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because Super Smash Bros. Brawl was my very first Smash Bros. Game, and obviously I went back and played the other games as well. But I feel like it's probably time to talk about what we could possibly see coming out of Smash Bros. Next. So if you guys have any thoughts of your own when it comes to this that you want to share with me that might be a little bit different from what I talk about within this video, you should let me know down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So when it comes to the future of Super Smash Bros., this is something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, especially with everything that's been going on with the next Nintendo console. Because at this point, it really feels like we're getting closer and closer to seeing the next game for Smash, because that's one of Nintendo's biggest franchises. And it's just one of those games that always feels like it has to be part of the conversation whenever a new system is coming out. And with how much stronger this console already is compared to the original Switch, it really makes you sit there and think about what that could mean for a series like Smash, because now you're talking about better performance, smoother gameplay, better visuals, and just overall more possibilities when it comes to how this game could feel and look. And that alone already opens the door for a lot of different directions to go in. And when I really sit there and think about it, I just can't see a future where we don't eventually get another Smash Bros. Game, because it's just too big to ignore. And even though there has been conversations about whether or not Sakurai might step away from the series after everything that went into the last game, I still feel like at some point, whether it's sooner or later, we're going to see Smash come back in some form, because that's just how important it is to Nintendo as a whole. And if things change behind the scenes, the demand for a new Smash game is always going to be there, especially going into a brand new generation hardware. So one of the biggest questions that I keep asking myself when it comes to the next Smash game is what direction Nintendo actually wants to go in. Because there are really two clear paths that they could take, and both of them honestly make a lot of sense depending on how you look at it. Because on one hand, you have the option of building off what we already have with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I've had conversation with friends about this before where a lot of them feel like that might be the best move, because the roster in Ultimate is already huge, it's packed of characters, it has so much content, and instead of starting from scratch, you could just keep expanding on that foundation by adding more fighters, more stages, and maybe even tweaking the gameplay a little bit to keep things fresh. And honestly, that idea is really appealing because it feels like you're not losing anything, you're just building on top of something that already works. But at the same time, the other option is just as interesting, and that's the idea of creating a completely new Smash Bros. Game from the ground up. And this is where things start to get really exciting, because if they go in that direction, it opens the door for a totally different feel, a different side of gameplay, and maybe even a new identity for the series moving forward. Because instead of trying to top what Ultimate did in terms of content, they could focus more on something else, and that means, changes to mechanics, changes to how characters play, or even a shift in how the overall experience is structured. While that might mean we don't get as many characters right away, it could still end up being something that feels fresh and new in a way that really pushes the series forward. And this is where the next console really comes into play, because when you think about the jump from the original Switch to what the Switch 2 is expected to be, it's not just a small upgrade, it's something that could actually change how these games are made and experienced, because now you're talking about a system that can handle more, do more, and present things in a way that just wasn't possible before. And for a game like Smash Bros, that can mean a lot of different things, whether it's larger stages, more detailed character models, smoother animations, or even new gameplay ideas that couldn't really be pulled off on the original hardware. And that's the part that really gets me thinking, because it's not just about getting another Smash game, it's about what that game could actually look like and feel on a stronger system. And because of that, it makes both directions we talked about earlier feel even more possible, because if they wanted to expand on Ultimate, they now have the hardware to push it even further, and if they want to start fresh, they have the power to really redefine what Smash Bros. Could be moving forward. And that's why I keep going back and forth on this, because there really isn't a wrong answer here. It just comes down to what Nintendo feels like is the best move for the series at this point in time, and how they want to approach the next generation of Smash. So when it comes to everything that we talked about here in today's video, I honestly don't care what direction we go down, because obviously whenever the next Smash game comes out, I'm gonna play it. But I mean, both options work. Like I said, expand on Ultimate, a lot of content there. Just keep adding and adding and adding. You could easily do that, especially if Sakurai doesn't want to push himself too hard and he just wants to expand on what he did before. It would work. I mean, hey, look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They expanded on Mario Kart 8, the original game, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did very well. They could easily do Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe, something along the lines of that. It would work. I would buy it. People would buy it. Maybe it could be an upgrade from the Smash Bros. Ultimate game that we already have, and we just pay like an extra $20 or so and just get this version of the game, and we get these battle passes or whatever the case may be. It could easily be something like that. Or we can go from scratch and just make a new Smash game. Maybe all the same characters are in it. Maybe they're not. Maybe some people get cut, because we do have a lot of characters in Ultimate. Either way, I don't care. I'm going to be playing it. But I felt like this was fun to talk about when it comes to Smash, because we all love Smash, and we're very curious to see exactly what the next move is for this series. But if you guys have any thoughts that you want to share in the comments, we can start talking about it, having fun with this conversation here. Be sure to let me know down below. I would absolutely love to hear it. And if you guys enjoy the video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Facebook. All the links are located in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. And also, if you guys want to check out my Discord server, be sure to do so. The link is pinned in the comments, so we can talk more about all of our favorite media when it comes to video games, movies, whatever the case may be. Be sure to join if you are interested. And if you guys want to be notified whenever I drop a new video, be sure to hit that bell so you guys know right away. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.